back once again with the Red J Master is an intro that makes me sound so much cooler than I am, but we're back. We're here. It's Football Manager 2024, and it's your favourite kind of experiments here on the channel, or at least the ones that seem to do their best in terms of comments, interaction, engagement, and everything. It's management, and it's a brother-sister manager rivalry face-off sort of versus thing. So yeah, that's all there is to say. Let's go and jump in and see how they get on. Welcome to the Maxwell twins, Carly and Josh, who were born on the 30th of June 2026. They're 23 years old, and I have put them at rival teams. I've not made them Welsh, though, even though I've put them at Welsh teams. So there's an error inside the first minute. And yeah, let's hope it doesn't keep going that way. So as you can see here from this screen, we've got 120 current ability, 200 potential ability. They are professional personality, and all their attributes are identical. So Carly, there she is. That is her sort of breakdown. And the 10s 2, we've made sure we've got quite a few 10s 2 in. She's a 4-2-3-1 kind of gal. Josh, on the other hand, well, is identical. 4-2-3-1 kind of guy. And he is, yeah, same sort of tendencies, same personality, same everything, really, except Josh has got a beard and a penis, because he's a man. There we go. So, yeah, Swansea and Cardiff, I thought let's start them off at two rival clubs, reasonably high up in the Football League pyramid, because if you start them off too low down and they get sacked, I don't know if you guys have done management simulations, but sometimes they can be a bit volatile where they don't actually go and get a new job, and it can be a little bit of a lottery. So sometimes some of these experiments, we have to do a resim, we have to start again, we have to do some tweaking. Hopefully, because last time with the Twins, where we started them off in the Championship with Norwich and Ipswich, it worked pretty well, so we started off in the Championship once again, hoping it will work equally as well. Well, that's all there is to say in this opening part of the video. Let's jump through to 2024 and see how they got on in their first season. They're both still in charge. They are both still in charge of their respective teams, and as you can see here, we've got Carly is at 126 current ability. Josh has gone to 121. So they've improved ever so slightly, but Carly's improved better. In terms of the Championship then, well, Leicester won it. Where did they finish then? Swansea finished 8th and Cardiff were, I can't even see, 11th. Cardiff were 11th, Swansea were in 8th. So first blood to Josh, actually, despite Carly having the better attribute points at this moment in time. Didn't really do much in the transfer market, did she? Josh, on the other hand, has been a little bit busier. He sent a few players out on loan. He sold Matt Grimes to Borough for 10 mil. Didn't really spend any of that money, so he's now spent 5.25 on Jan Fleming from Millwall to start the season off. In terms of the season preview for this season, we've got Cardiff in 14th. Swansea are expected to finish 18th, so they both exceeded expectations from last season. Although we didn't look at it last season, I don't imagine it'd be too much different. So yeah, they exceeded expectations by both finishing in the top half. Cardiff just inside the top half in 11th, but Swansea in 8th, nearly pushing for a playoff place. We're going to move to 2025. We've got a lot of years to cover in this. It's over a 40-year simulation. So do excuse me if we do rattle through a few years quite quickly. I don't want to be jumping too many big jumps because we don't want to miss loads of stuff. So yeah. On we move. Wolves, 1 to 10, went down. Who won the Premier League in the first season? Was it Man City? It was Liverpool. It was Liverpool who won the Premier League, and Klopp has left. There you go, Liverpool ahead of Arsenal, and City back on 79 points. Could that happen in real life? Probably not. This will probably come out very close to when the end of the season is. A couple of weeks, 3 weeks' time. According to this end of April. Anyway, 2025. Okay, Carly's at 130. Josh is at 125. Carly's also moved to Wrexham. Josh has moved to Granada. And yeah, all right. So she was sacked in November and she was hired by Wrexham just 6 or 7 days ago. So not long ago at all. There's not really much to check in on there because she's been unemployed for the majority of the season. Josh, as I say, at Granada, he moved there 2 days after and he got sacked even sooner. Bloody hell, got sacked in October. So they've both been unemployed all season. Frankie Lampard came in at Swansea to take over. They did survive. Both of them by the skin of the teeth. 21st and 20th. John Terry at Cardiff as well. Wow, the Chelsea heroes. Frank Lampard and John Terry going to Cardiff and Swansea. It's a story in itself. Wolves went up. Man City won the league. Sergio Conte's Sal went to Liverpool. Shun Pep's still at City, of course he is. Mikel's still at Arsenal. Marcelino's at Chelsea. Pocher's gone. Eddie Howe's gone from Newcastle. Yeah, of course, Ten Hag's gone from United. And Emery's still there, and Deserby's gone. Of course, Deserby's gone. Where's Ralph? Early Ralph watch for you, ladies and gentlemen. He's only gone and become the manager of Austria, and he's gone from Clermont. Oh, he's double jobbed. Oh, he got sacked from Clermont, but he's had 2 jobs already. So Wrexham are in League One, and the season preview thinks that they're going to finish mid-table. So why have Wrexham not got a manager? Carl Robinson actually left to go and become the manager of Sheffield United. Neil Roberts was only there as a caretaker. Phil Parkinson, he won the Vanarama National League, but we know that. He was sacked. Granada, on the other hand, are 8th in the Spanish second tier. Oh, and it's not even ticked over yet, so we can't really see what's gone on. And wait, where are they? Can't even see them. There they are, 8th. They finished 8th, and the season preview thinks he's going to finish 5th. So he's got to achieve better than the previous manager. Probably that's why they brought someone in. So they both moved on to 2026. We move. But before we do that, can you please subscribe to the channel? That's it. Just subscribe. Trying to get to 10k. Right. Carly's still at Wrexham. So, firstly, 137 to 126. So, Carly has been there at Wrexham for the entire season. They're still in League One. Where did they finish? The media think they're going to finish 9th now. And last season, they finished 13th, as predicted. So, that she did exactly what it said on the tin. And they were quite happy with her. In terms of the transfers, she spent £3.1 million. She was a busy woman, wasn't she? And she's put in a lot of free transfers as well. She's overhauled this squad. And they've got no players, though. I'm not sure what's happened. You've left, but anyway, it is what it is. The media think they're going to finish better than 13th. Now they're going to finish in the top half. Can they do it? Fingers crossed. Josh, on the other hand, well, what happened with him? He got sacked as manager of Granada. He was there for less than 4 months. He has not had the best time, has he, Josh? And he was hired by Reading in January, and he's won the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, and he's only going to been promoted from League One, so he's now back in the Championship. So he's actually in a higher league. So we've just seen the league table. He's won the league. What happened with their manager? So their manager, Gareth Ainsworth, left the manager role. It's going to become the manager of Preston. Right, so he left and left them in a good position, it appears. And Josh came in and basically just carried on that good form. The Select Car Leasing Stadium rolls off the tongue. We've been here before when we've slagged off stadium names. That's as bad as it gets. Sorry, Reading. In terms of the Championship then, Sunderland have gone up. Go on, Sunderland. Big soft spot for Sunderland. First save on YouTube was my Sunderland save, and it was bloody brilliant, in my opinion. I loved it. Reading are expected to go down 50 to 1, but there's quite a few teams at 50 to 1, so can Josh keep them up? He's not improved as much as Carly, has he? As you can see, look at that. She's so much better at coaching, better at judging staff ability, not as good at judging player ability, better at negotiating. And although she's getting considerably less money, nearly 4 times less than her brother, sexist, yeah? Anyway, so there you go, 2027, here we come. Right, they're both still exactly where they were, so we're going to look at League One, and Wrexham finished 7th, just outside the playoffs, so she exceeded expectations, and the transfers, again, she brought a lot of players in. She did pretty much... She worked wonders with the squad, but again, where are they all? I mean, there's a lot in the under-21s, a lot in the under-18s, but I don't know. Paul Mullin's still there. Go on, Paul. Super Paul Mullin. Elliot Lee, welcome to Wrexham, eh? It's kind of appropriate, actually, signing Carly as the manager of Wrexham. I imagine that's the kind of thing that Ryan and Rob would do. And as not even just as like a, what's the word? Publicity stunt. Like they'd get someone in on merit, but it would also feed into the documentary and get promo around the club. I imagine that's the kind of thing that they might do in the future when Phil Parkinson leaves, if he's still there. Assume he is. Welcome to Wrexham Season 6. First female manager in the Football League. You never know, do you? You never know. Reading, then, are still in the Championship. Josh managed to keep them there. And where did they finish? 18th. So, yeah, fair play, Josh. Well done, my son. 20th now. Still 50 to 1. There's teams that are worse, but they think that they're going to finish outside the relegation zone this season. In terms of transfers, he was a busy boy in the transfer market. He spent a nice little wedge of money and bought in a few players on frees as well. So there we go then. They are still in their respective leagues. Carly is better in terms of being the manager. She's on 5 times less now because Josh has had a pay rise, probably a promotional wage rise contract or something. Carly's contract expires next season. Josh has got 2 more years left in his deal. Will they still be here in 2028? Well, we're about to find out. There we go then. Complete change around. We've got 140 to 138, so Josh is closing that gap. Carly's at Stoke. Josh is at Derby. So Carly left Wrexham in November and became the Stoke manager. Josh, on the other hand, he departed as Reading manager in December and went to become the Derby manager. The Derby are in the Championship. So let's have a quick look in League One, just quickly. Where did Wrexham got promoted? So she set the groundwork. She set the foundation. John Dahl Thomason came in and got them promoted. That's Carly's team. Deserved more. Carl Robinson's now in charge of Cardiff. Swansea, Alessio Dissoni. Frank Lampard got sacked. He's now the Plymouth manager, if anyone cares. I'm sure his wife does. So Stoke finished 15th, Derby finished 11th. So yeah, again, once more, it was Josh finishing higher than Carly, doing better. Let's move to 2029 and start rattling through these early years before the trophy hauls really start. Still at Stoke and Derby. Stoke finished 6th in the playoffs, Derby down in 10th. So Carly did better this season. She's at 145 now. Josh is at 146. He's overtaken her in terms of attributes, but she's overtaken him in terms of wages by £250. It's all going on. The drama. As you can see, Josh is better at fitness coaching, mental, set pieces, and tactical, as well as judging player ability and negotiating now. He's got a better negotiation. Oh, so that's Carly who's better at all those. Sorry. Determination, judging player potential, and motivating and tactical knowledge is better for Josh. Of course, they're both fantastic managers. So let's move to 2030. And again, once more, they both move. And firstly, let's just say they're both at 151. They are keeping pace with each other's ability. But Carly is bringing home the big bucks, 38.5 G's per week, whereas Josh is slumming it on £14,500 per week. Josh went to Birmingham after being sacked as manager of Derby. He was unemployed for 3 months. Carly, I feel like she left of her own accord, departed, hired as Burnley manager, and she has been relegated, which is disappointing. So we know where they finished. Josh, on the other hand, in terms of Birmingham, where did they finish? 7th. Yeah, 7th. Stoke were 9th. We finished higher than he did with Stoke. Is Carly going to keep a job at Burnley? I think she's got to get promoted to save her job. If she doesn't get promoted by this time next season, she'll be out of a job and somewhere else, hopefully. They have been stuck in the Championship, haven't they? They've been, apart from when Josh went to Granada and Carly's gone into the Premier League, then, yeah. So, firstly, Josh is now unemployed. Sacked on the 28th of January. He was there for just over a year and 20 days to be precise. Due to the club's poor league position, they are currently top of the Championship on alphabetical order. In terms of last season, they finished 18th. Pretty poor. Wrexham up in 14th. Absolutely loving life. Carly's foundation is still going strong. And she went up as champions of the Championship with Burnley. So she's retained her job and she is, still in a job. £83 million in the hole. I feel like she needs to move from Burnley. I don't feel Burnley are a long-term prospect for her. She's actually 3 attribute points worse off despite being a manager all season. Work that one out. Josh has improved more by getting sacked in January. Josh has gone to Swansea. Back to Swansea. When did he go back to Swansea? On the 19th of November. Okay. And Carly is at Leicester. She got sacked as manager of Burnley and got hired as manager of Leicester about a month later. On Christmas Day? Who's hiring someone on Christmas Day to manage a football club? What? I mean, obviously, I don't think Football Manager quite takes into account Christmas Day in terms of these things. Obviously, it doesn't put games on Christmas Day because it's just not realistic. But I'm sure it's just something in the code that's not even thought of. But I don't know, just that makes me laugh. She got hired on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, Carly. Welcome to Leicester. Burnley then, they're in the Premier Division still, and they finished 16th. Leicester. So last season, Birmingham got promoted after sacking Josh. He's back at Swansea and he kept them up by 2 points, finishing 21st. Leicester are in 7th and they just missed out on the playoffs. Okay, so they've maintained themselves at their respective clubs. 7 attribute points, the difference between them. Carly is at 161 and she's in the Premier League, so she's been promoted. That's the second promotion of her career. They finished 2nd getting promoted by 4 points ahead of Sheffield United, 7 points behind Bournemouth. Swansea, once again, just avoiding relegation, this time by 3 points. And sadly, welcome to Wrexham, welcome to League One. What a sad season that's going to be on Disney Plus. Season 14 or whatever. Carly's still earning a hell of a lot more than Josh, but she's not as good. But we're now infiltrating the Premier League. A couple of times Carly's got himself into the Premier League. He's one decent job away where he lands on his feet. Because Carly got promoted with Rex. Who did Carly get promoted with? She got promoted with someone else as well. Oh no, Josh got promoted, didn't he? Didn't Josh get promoted with Reading? Yeah, that was it. Josh got promoted with Reading. So there's success in both their tales, and because their current ability is so high, I'm sure that in the future they're going to be duking it out for Champions Leagues. Josh has now gone to Ipswich. Carly's been sacked. So Leicester weren't very happy. Leicester, they got relegated. Do you know what? They kept faith with it for quite a while, and they were really bottom. They were two of her former clubs have now been relegated then, Burnley and Leicester. Technically she wasn't relegated with Leicester because they sacked her before they were officially relegated, but the writing was on the wall, wasn't it? They finished bottom. I don't imagine they did much. I don't imagine they were like 17th, and then they've dropped to bottom after sacking her. I imagine they were bottom and they never recovered. Ipswich then. So Swansea are 20th. He did that, and then Ipswich are 18th. So when did Josh become the manager of Ipswich? He departed on Christmas Eve. Talk about leaving them. What a Christmas that is for Swansea. Christmas Eve, the chairman gets a phone call. I'm off to Ipswich. You what? I've just defrosted my turkey, Josh. Doing this now? Yes, I am, boss. See you later. I'm off to Ipswich. I imagine they knew it was all going to happen because, of course, negotiations and all that jazz. So anyway, yeah, there you go. Can Carly get a job? Can Josh do anything with Ipswich? Right, Josh is at Ipswich still, and Carly now 1 attribute point away from Josh. She's on 51k a week at Forest, who are in the Premier League. So she's gone and got herself a Premier League job, hired on the 11th of the 7th. At the start of the season. Fair play. And they finished 15th. You'd love to see it. Ipswich, 9th. Josh did really well with Ipswich. Let's move on. And here we go. And I don't even know where Leeds are and how they've been doing up to this point, but Leeds feels like a big job. 5 attribute points the difference now. Josh Maxwell is a world-class manager with a national reputation. He's a media-friendly kind of guy, and he left Ipswich to become the manager of Leeds on the 26th of the 11th. Leeds are in the Championship, though. Ipswich finished 15th and Leeds finished 8th. Will they do better now he's in charge for his first season? Nottingham Forest finished 10th. Carly, what an absolute beast she's been. She's taken them from just avoiding relegation to mid-table, and she was wanted. We saw it. She was wanted. Who wants her? Chelsea? How are Chelsea doing in this experiment? Well, Chelsea have been winning leagues. So who was manager? Poch was there for a bit, and Marcelino's been there for 11 years, and he's just been sacked. 5 cup wins and 3 league wins, and he got sacked because Tottenham have just won the league. So what happened in this most recent season? We've just looked at the season preview, but we didn't look at Chelsea. Chelsea down in 6th, didn't even get Champions League football. Brighton up in 3rd. United getting Champions League football from 12th. Ryan Mason's in charge at Brighton. He always becomes a manager in these simulations and becomes amazing, doesn't he? Right. Will she move to Chelsea? Can Josh get Leeds promoted and be both in the Premier League? Right. Josh has left Leeds. Wait. Departed as manager of Leeds, agreeing to teams in the club. 11th of the 8th. He's going to become the Forest manager. He's going to take his sister's job because she went off to Germany to become the Borussia Dortmund manager. No. Yes. No. She became the Napoli manager. She went to Napoli on the 3rd of the 8th. And Josh went to Forest on the 11th, 8 days later. So they kept it in the family, did Nottingham Forest. Josh probably moved into her house. He's probably been there loads for Sunday dinner, I guess. Probably not. But, 178 for Carly, 183 for Josh. So Carly, milestones. She went to Napoli. She's not won anything as manager of Napoli, has she? She finished 3rd. Fiorentina won the league. They're doing pretty well in this experiment. Laurent Blanc is in charge. Is he good? Get a tycoon? No tycoon. They've just been managed very well by Laurent Blanc for a long time, to be fair. So Dortmund then. Carly is at Dortmund and they were champions. Mönchengladbach won it last season, so Bayern Munich have fallen off. Oh my God, they're outside the Champions League places. So firstly, what happened here then? Edin Terzic was sacked after nearly 16 years in charge. So Edin Terzic has been there for the entirety of this experiment. He's become the manager in real life in 2021. He's still there up until 8 days ago, where Carly has just come in from Napoli. She's been given 145 million pounds to spend. Wow, look at the facilities, 20s across the board. I mean, Dortmund are fantastic. If you want to be a team on Football Manager that's like fun, Dortmund are a great team to be, because you've got Bayern Munich, who are just such a monolith in Germany, so difficult to dethrone. All you got to do really with Dortmund is get Champions League football, and the board are reasonably happy. You've got great youth players coming in, and you can really build a squad. And yeah, I did it on the beta last year with Dortmund before the olden days, and it was a great fun save, and I wished I'd gone back to it. I'd only done about 3 seasons. I did sneak the league, but I sort of fluked it really. But I would have loved to have dethroned Bayern in like a nice 10-season save. So if you're new to the game and you're wanting a fun little challenge that's difficult but also not too difficult at the same time, Dortmund are a fantastic team to be. £145 million then? But what about Bayern Munich? Jurgen Klopp is in charge. How long has he been there? 11 years. He's won loads of leagues and loads of cups, but they've kept faith with him, despite the fact he's just finished 5th. And they've got a very small squad. They've only got 17 players in the squad. Jude Bellingham's at Chelsea, £253 million. Sorry, City, £253 million. Endrick went to Chelsea for just £68 million. Look at that. Kenneth Dam at AC Milan, 12.25 from Midtjylland. Regen, 197. Potential and current ability. Ruben Torres, 198. £92 million from RZ. TJ Wotton at Liverpool came through the youth academy. So anyway, some great players. We could spend all day looking through some of these regens, but we're not going to. We're going to move on to 2038 because I've dilly-dallied long enough in 2037. Okay, so Josh is still at Forest. Where did Forest finish in the league? They finished 15th, so they are slipping back down the table. And Borussia Dortmund, she won the league. She has won their first proper trophy of this experiment. Carly wins the Bundesliga, taking it back from Mönchengladbach, who finished 6th. It was very tight at the top, wasn't it? 3 points between 4th and 1st. But she's managed to win the Bundesliga. Now, did she spend all that money? She didn't. She actually brought in more than she spent. She went to Inter Milan for 3 players. She went to the Inter Milan club shop. Ian Jarkov, Chao Henrique, and a loan for Sebastian Marico. I'll be honest with you, I'm disappointed by that. Disappointed. And if we look, she's got a bid in, and it's Inter Milan. Well, she likes their players, doesn't she? So Lazio have just won the league. Inter finished 2nd. They're managerless because Zinedine Zidane's left the manager role to go and become manager of Liverpool. Unai Emery was sacked. De Zerbi was there for 11 years. So that's where De Zerbi went. He's now manager of Fiorentina. So will she go and become the manager of Inter Milan? I bet so. I bet she will. 4 attribute points in between it, and she's still getting more money than Josh. Although, I can't believe she's only on 8k more at Dortmund, Bundesliga winners, as opposed to Josh, just avoiding relegation with Forest. Right. Okay. Josh is unemployed. Let's look at Josh first. He was sacked as manager of Nottingham Forest in November. He's still not got a job. We'll leave it there. Carly. She went to Inter Milan on the 1st of July. We saw this was underway. We thought this was going to happen. I did not expect to come back and see her in charge of Fiorentina. So in terms of the managers, Roberto De Zerbi has just come in and left. He's gone to become the manager of Chelsea. Okay, so he's gone back to England, and Carly's finished 3rd, and then she's gone to Fiorentina, who are the current league champions. So she's now on £150,000 a week. She is 1 attribute point off Josh. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We will have a look and compare the two of them. I mean, they're both fantastic managers, aren't they? Josh has never had a massive job, though. Carly is now doing the rounds. She's been the manager of Fiorentina, who are winning leagues, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, where she won the Bundesliga. She's been scouted by Chelsea, I believe. And Josh has yet to really sort of kick on. So he needs to get himself a job. I'm sure he will get himself one. He has. Okay, he has. He's at Aston Villa on £63,000 a week. So Aston Villa are... Where are Aston Villa? Where on earth are Aston Villa? There, 14th. Oh, abysmal. Rubbish. Season preview. Aston Villa, 10th. Right, he's underachieving. Josh, you disappoint me. Carly, though. Manager of Fiorentina. She finished 2nd. Atalanta have just won the league for the first time in this experiment. How about that then? And yeah, she's finished 2nd. Two in 3 years Fiorentina won the league. And then she's come in and they've finished 2nd. Which is disappointing, isn't it? Disappointing. I mean, she went to Inter, who'd won it basically for a decade in the 20s. and into the 30s. Only once did Fiorentina sneak it. Inter haven't won it in 4 years now. She's not won anything with Fiorentina, I don't think. No, not won anything. And here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. It's all started to happen. So Carly's now got 200 out of 200 ability. Josh is at 195. Josh has had a promotion from Aston Villa. He's gone to Bayer Leverkusen. He's on 76 grand per week. Bayer Leverkusen finished 7th in the Bundesliga. So they got Conference League football. So he might win a trophy. When did he go there? So he left Aston Villa, a few days ago, like 6 days ago. So he's just gone. So where did Aston Villa finish in the Premier League? 8th. So he did very well, actually. Didn't quite get European football. Liverpool, oh, look at that. United have been relegated. Oh my God. I just saw United had gone into administration. They've actually been relegated because of that administration. Madness. That's just thrown me. So North London dominating the Premier League up there, Arsenal and Tottenham. Liverpool finished in 5th. Harley's going to become the manager of Liverpool 216 days ago. So Edin Terzic has been sacked. God, she's just following on taking his jobs, isn't she? He's wanted by Aston Villa because they need a manager. So yeah, Carly is now the manager of Liverpool. And did she win anything? No, she didn't. She left in November, so she's not had a great time in Italy, to be fair. She's only won the Bundesliga. Here we are back in 2042, and they are both still where we left them. And Bayer Leverkusen, oh my word, they finished 2nd, getting Champions League football, sorry. Josh Maxwell has steered them to a 2nd place league position, and he's also won the Conference League. Josh has got himself a trophy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all applaud Josh for his success. Carly, on the other hand, at Liverpool, is still in charge. Newcastle have won the league. She finished 4th in this most recent season. Did she win anything? No, she didn't. Disappointing. Well, let's go to 2043. Is someone going to come in for Josh? I think so. Oh my God. Someone else come in for Josh. Oh my God. He's only going to take Carly's job, but I think she was sacked because she's unemployed now. Oh, I'm sorry. No, she's got the England job. I've only got club jobs in that thing, so it looks like she's been sacked. No, she left the manager of Liverpool. She left the Liverpool post to go and become the England manager. Well, she's available to sign on a free. That's why it looks like that, because there you go, international job manager over here. So it's very easy to miss that. Josh has also got himself to 200 in terms of his ability. When did he become the Liverpool manager? Very shortly after winning the Conference League. He became the Liverpool manager at the start of the season, and he finished 6th. Didn't even get Champions League football. That's disappointing. That's very disappointing for him. We're now entering 2044, so there'll be an international tournament progressing. So if Carly's left and become a club manager, what on earth's been going on? She is still in charge of England. She is still the England boss, and she's in the Euros currently in the 2nd round against Czechia. And England are currently ranked 1st in the world. They've won a World Cup back in 2030. They've also won 2 Euros in 2024 and 2036. So the 2044 Euros, which is now, could they be on to do it? They've got some good players. They've only got 3 in the 180s, though. Quite a few in the 160s. I don't know if that's quite good enough. Probably is. Josh got sacked as manager of Liverpool in December. Oh, my word. 9th, they finished. That's really disappointing for him. 2045 then. Josh has still not got a job. He's not had a job for 2 years. Is this the end for Josh? Carly left the England job on the 26th of the 6th. To be fair, they lost in the final. They won in the semi-final against Austria. They lost in the final to Spain. But she left mid-tournament. Never would happen to become the manager of Villarreal. Crazy. Villarreal then, what are they doing? She just finished 4th in the league with them and expected to finish 6th. So exceeded expectations. Okay, so she's still at Villarreal, and again, they've finished 4th, so it was 2 seasons in a row she's finished 4th, so fair play to her. Carly, let's have a quick look at her milestones. Yeah, no tournament wins or cup competitions or anything like that. Josh is wanted by Inter, Napoli, and Porto. He's finally going to get back into management 3 years on, and he went to become the manager of Brighton. Oh, no. Sorry, it's all gone on. He went to Inter. So he went to Inter, where they are floundering down the league. I can't believe how bad Inter are doing. And then he left. He left to go to Brighton, right? Because Tom Kempster was sacked, yeah? And Josh Maxwell has gone and won the Champions League with Brighton. They've actually won 5 Champions Leagues. Brighton have won, in the last 10 years, Brighton have won 5 Champions Leagues, ladies and gentlemen. Yet they've never won the Premier League. So the last season they finished 7th, and that wasn't good enough apparently. They finished 2nd the season before that. They were 5th before that. So they've been up there. Have they had a tycoon? Or they've just been run very well? No tycoon, just been run fantastically well. Brilliant stuff. Well, he's won a Champions League, can you believe it? And now Carly's unemployed. How the tables have turned. So Josh is still at Brighton and Carly is on nearly £100,000 a week less. She has gone to Josh's old club, Aston Villa. She was hired because she was sacked as Villarreal manager. Yeah, she was unemployed. Yeah, so she lost her job as Villarreal manager. She was Aston Villa manager from December, and they finished 13th. United back in the Premier League, finishing 17th there, just avoiding relegation. Brighton down in 6th. That's not good enough for me. I think Josh is probably on borrowed time. Carly, I don't even know where to begin. Her career's falling off the face of the earth. I think Josh has overtaken her now. I feel like she left. She's been leaving clubs when she shouldn't have done, and then now she's just getting sacked. She's just left Aston Villa to go to Mönchengladbach and then got sacked. They finished, where did they finish? They finished 6th outside the Champions League places. Not good enough according to Mönchengladbach. Josh, on the other hand, is at Atalanta, and I said he's on borrowed time at Brighton. Well, I think he's jumped before he was pushed, and he's gone to Atalanta, who finished 3rd in Serie A. Now, Atalanta have won some Serie A's in this experiment. The 3 that they have won have been in this experiment, but they haven't won for a few years, so it's not really expected that they're going to win, I don't think. I think they're probably going to finish, well, they're expected to finish 3rd, and they did. Lazio have won the league by a mile, and they've got half the Media Dream 11, if not more. Ryan Mason, here he is again. Ryan Mason's in charge, and look at that team, just 170s and 160s. It doesn't look like it's that impressive. I mean, it's a great squad. It's fantastic, but there's no 180s or 190s in there. I expect a bit more. Ryan Mason, where's he been? What's he been doing? He's been at Fiorentina. He's just gone to Lazio. He's been to Fiorentina. Newcastle, he's been there. He's been at Brighton for 9 years, where he won multiple Champions Leagues. He was at Rennes, Bilbao, Bournemouth, Blackburn. I mean, just insane. Ryan Mason, take a bow, son. Right, Josh, well, hang about. He's just been sacked as Atalanta manager. Oh, they did finish 9th. I can understand why. Napoli have just got 100 points and won the league. Lazio on 96 points have come 2nd, and they've just sacked Ryan Mason. They got runners up in the cup as well. That's not good enough, apparently. That's not good enough. And who's in pole position? It's only Josh bloody Maxwell at Lazio. Carly has gone to Sunderland. She's found herself another job. The Sunderland boss. She's the Sunderland manager. The season preview for Sunderland, they're expected to finish 7th. When did she become the Sunderland manager? 18th of the 12th, 2049. So she came in around Christmas, and she guided them to 14th place. So fair play to her. Tottenham won the league ahead of Newcastle on goal difference. Brighton on 82 points. City on 81. 1 point further back. So that's 2 points separating the top 4. You'll love to see it. So 2050. And at this juncture, I'd say Josh has had the better career, more success by winning a Champions League, and he's about to go to Italy. He's about to stay in Italy, and I think he's going to go to Lazio, where if he stays there, he's probably going to have a good 5 years there where he could win everything. Carly, on the other hand, is falling away, and she's now at Sunderland, where they're expected to finish just outside the European places. What can she do with that? Okay, she's back at Fiorentina. What happened there then? 3rd of the 11th, she's gone back to Fiorentina. They sacked Callum Styles, probably for that haircut. Kevin Lasagna. Who remembers Kevin Lasagna? I mean, all 17 of you that were watching the Sunderland series back on FM24, but we signed Kevin Lasagna as a deadline day panic buy because he had a bit of pace about him. He was crap. So Carly's come into Fiorentina, who've just finished 7th. That's awful. Lazio finished in 2nd behind Napoli. Josh has not won the league with Lazio. Deary me. They're both in Serie A, though. The rivalry's on. Well, the rivalry's now not on. Carly's been sacked as manager of Fiorentina at 26th of the 11th. They finished 6th overall. Dominic Livakovic, great goalkeeper, great manager apparently now. Napoli 3 in a row. It's Lazio who have not kicked on again. And again, he's won nothing with Lazio. So it's been very sparse for trophies, hasn't it, so far for this pair? But she's back in Italy with AC Milan, and Newcastle and Barcelona want Josh. Again, he's finished 2nd. This time behind Bologna. Where have they come from? Napoli, who've been winning the league by a mile, have just finished, 7th or whatever. Virgil van Dijk was interim manager. He's the head of youth development at Fiorentina. Oh, sorry, he was head of youth development at Napoli and become the caretaker and interim manager. Tony Kempster was there for a while he was doing really well. Josh has won the Italian Cup. Finally, he's got a bit of silverware under his belt. Carly became the AC Milan manager when? At 16th of the 7th, 2052. So she's been there all season. AC Milan, 9th. Not good enough for me. Not good enough at all. But are they backing her? I mean, it doesn't look like they're spending any money. You've got £121 million debt. There's no budget. She is on to a rotter. Like, there's absolutely no chance. And she's been sacked. I mean, oh, sorry. No. She left AC Milan to become the manager of BVT. Who's that? Someone in Portugal. I'm not sure. Jack Hinchy's now in charge again. That's the second time I've seen him come in and take over after Carly. He's won the Portuguese League Cup and then he's been sacked. He obviously wants to win the league. Didn't happen. So she's now unemployed once again. She's won a domestic cup. Josh, though, he's left Lazio last season, come to Newcastle, and he's done the double. He's won the Premier League and the FA Cup, and look at this. He's won by 3 points ahead of Spurs, but if you look, Spurs have been on a tear. That was going to be their 5th in a row. And in fairness, Spurs have won in the last 11 years. They've won 9. Sorry. In the last 12 years, Spurs have won 9. Newcastle have won 3. Newcastle have been second a lot, but he's come in and he's won Premier League, and he's gone and won the FA Cup as well, beating Manchester City in the process. Manchester United recovering. They're back in the Premier League again. They've won the FA Cup the other season, getting Europa League football by finishing 12th. Burnley getting Champions League football from 11th. They've obviously won something. Probably the Europa League. Indeed. Brighton, current Europa League winners. Robbie Rose is in charge. Still only 5 Champions Leagues for them. Current Champions League winners were Newcastle. Where did their manager go then? He's left. Alex Ganley-Ems. He went to Napoli. He's the one that went to Napoli. Well, there you go. 2054. We move to 2055. Now we are moving into the penultimate area of their careers. The twilight of their careers, if you will. They'll probably all be retiring in the early 2060s. I don't imagine they'll go much further than that. They might, you never know, but they're both unemployed now. Josh got sacked as manager of Newcastle despite winning 2 leagues. Brighton and Roma won him. Carly is still unemployed. Right, they've both got jobs now and at drastic ends of the wage spectrum. Josh is at Chelsea on 155 Gs a week. Carly's only getting 28, and she's gone to Real Betis. She went there. Oh, she's only been there like 2.5 weeks, so fair play. Josh, he went to Chelsea at Christmas, and they 10th. Oh, the only team in the top 11 not to get European football, kicking the balls. Oh, and Carly's gone to Al Hilal, not even for a payday, 27 Gs a week. She's won the Asian Champions League. She left Real Betis. Josh is still at Chelsea. Didn't win anything. Is that going to be it for Carly? Is that going to be it? Is her Saudi Arabia trip going to result in her retirement? It often does. It often does. Maybe not for managers. She's still there. She's wanted by Havre. Josh is back at Brighton. He's gone back to Brighton. He's left Chelsea, gone back to Brighton. Oh, my word. 3 teams on the same points. Newcastle, Arsenal and Villa all on 85. Tottenham in 4th on 83. Tottenham lost on the last day of the season as well. So did Newcastle. Arsenal drew. If they'd have won that game, they'd have won the league. It's all going on. Chelsea finishing in 11th. Brighton in 7th, getting Europa League football. Can he bring some silverware back to Brighton? Closing in on the 2060s then. It's 2059. Okay, so she came back from Saudi Arabia to become the manager of Lexos. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. She won the Portuguese Super Cup and then she's been sacked. So she's now unemployed once again. Josh is no longer manager of Brighton. He's gone to Roma in Italy where they finished in 6th. Again, a pretty dismal time, to be honest. He left Lazio. He was at Lazio for a season and they've won 5 out of 6 leagues. If he'd only stayed, they've got the squad, they've probably got the money and the infrastructure. £322 million in the bank, a budget of £240 million this season as champions, still in the Olympico, built in 1953, over 100 years ago. That's impressive, isn't it? Well, what a disappointment. What a disappointment that was. Let's go to 2060. Carly's still unemployed. Josh still at Roma. They finished 3rd this season, so they've actually got a little bit of Champions League qualification, but they're still 10 points off. The winners, Lazio, of course. Carly's still unemployed. Oh, sorry, no. She's the manager of Austria. She's become the Austrian manager last season. So, yes, she wasn't employed last season, but we missed it. Relegated from the European International League. Disappointing. I mean, there was Ralph. We can still click him, and that was it. He was the manager of Austria for 10 years, and then he retired. Go on, Ralph. Josh has gone back to Newcastle and won the FA Cup again. He went back at the start of the season, and he's finished 3rd. Aston Villa have won the league on 84 points. Tottenham in 2nd on 80. Newcastle 3rd on 71. So she's still in charge of Austria is is Carly, and she's 62 years old now. I think she's probably going to retire. Just like the great man Ralph, she might retire in charge of Austria, which would be very poetic for the channel. Josh, on the other hand, at Newcastle, Carly's actually dropped in attribute points as well. She's at 198. Didn't even notice that. Josh is still at Newcastle, and the FA Cup win was his only accolade there. He's just finished 5th. Again, is he on borrowed time? I think 5th isn't quite good enough for Newcastle at this point, is it? And there's another season further on, and it's still the same old story. Carly's still at Austria. Josh is still at Newcastle, and that's still his only accolade, that FA Cup win. He did finish 2nd though this season, 9 points behind Tottenham, who actually won the league. And it's still as is over here. Still Austria manager. She's been there for quite some time now. She's been the Austria manager for nearly, over 4 years. Josh, again, still at Newcastle. He's won the Community Shield. Woohoo. Again, he's finished 2nd. Again, it's behind Tottenham. And again, it's by 10-ish points. Can't remember what it was last time. Was it 11, 12? 10 points this time. Disappointing. And she's gone. Carly's gone. Josh is still in charge of Newcastle. And again, he's snagged himself an FA Cup. But he's finished 4th. He has finished 4th, another 4 in a row for Tottenham. But an FA Cup win for Josh. His sister has retired. They won on penalties against Manchester City after being 2-0 down. They came back, 84th minute equaliser, and they won 8-7 on penalties. What a final that would have been to watch. Okay, so Carly's gone. Let's move forward. Let's go 3 years. Let's see if Josh is still there. Well, he is. He's still in charge of Newcastle, to be fair. And so he's done nothing since then, apart from win the Carabao Cup. Newcastle are still finishing in 4th. Man City and Aston Villa and Tottenham have won the last 3 league titles. So 4th, 2nd. So he was close to winning the league, actually, that season. 2 points behind Spurs, but he's not done much. His sister's long gone. How long is he going to carry on for? He's now the director of football. What's happened here then? He got sacked as manager of Newcastle in 2068 and then became the director of football. So they sacked him as manager and said, do you want a job as director of football? So very shortly after we were last here, 5 years ago, he was sacked. And there he is now, director of football, and he's still going strong at 73 years old. But we're not going to bother sticking around now. They've both retired from their managerial careers. Who did better? I'll be honest with you. I think they both underperformed. They both won considerably less trophies than they ought to have done with their ability. And some of their moves were very questionable. Let me know in the comments who you think won this experiment. I'm leaning towards Josh, mainly because he won the Champions League with Brighton. And that's really the difference maker, isn't it? There wasn't a lot of trophies to sort of speak of, but let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, please do drop a like on it. If you're new around here, do subscribe to the channel. Stick around for other videos like this and many of the other wonderful and weird experiments that we do here on the channel. But most importantly, gang, thank you very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.